Ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news. In this video, I'm going to tell you about a bipartisan bill to increase funding for economic injury disaster loans and its advances. Now, all of you know the background, especially the recent background in regards to the economic injury disaster loan advances. July 11th, Small Business Administration Administrator Javita Carranza announced the conclusion of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance Program. They exhausted the $20 billion that Congress appropriated to the program. The SBA disbursed advances to 6 million businesses, employing 30.5 million people, etc., etc. You heard about the Small Business Administration press office releasing statements to me exclusively in regards to disbursements of grants. They were still disbursing advances through last week, and the disbursements, they ended around Wednesday or Thursday. Nonetheless, deposits would take anywhere from 1 to 2 days. Assuming it's 1 to 2 business days, people would start to receive or would continue to receive advances through last week, to the end of last week and the beginning of this week. And effectively, I showed you proof that people did receive economic injury disaster loan advances yesterday, and today people have told me that they have received economic injury disaster loan advances. And the full background and the entire controversy surrounding the economic injury disaster loan program constitutes, first, Congress intended, according to the senators that are sponsoring this bill, to have the SBA disburse loans of up to $2 million. First, the SBA capped the loan amount at $500,000. Then, I don't know what they were thinking, but they capped it at $15,000. Now they're capping it at $150,000. This bill, it's called the Ensuring Increased Economic Injury Disaster Loans for Small Businesses Act, S.4227. It's going to do many things. First off, I like that the bill is co-sponsored by Jackie Rosen, Democrat senator from Nevada, and U.S. Republican Senator John Cornyn from Texas. Bipartisan bill. It's getting support from both sides of the aisle. It is calling for $100 billion for more economic injury disaster loans. And, I'm going to like this, $80 billion for more economic injury disaster loan advances, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just repeat that. $80 billion for more economic injury disaster loan advances. Even if you weren't processed before the last cutoff, you've got a great shot of getting financed, of getting the grant under this bill, and they're still disbursing. I heard from an SBA employee that the SBA is working around the clock to continue with deposits of outstanding economic injury disaster loan advances. And it feels like it's the Twilight Zone. Earlier today, I dropped a video on how Mitch McConnell is actually supporting stimulus checks. First time he said that, I believe, ever. And John Cornyn, he's stood in adamant opposition to more rounds of stimulus checks. Nonetheless, because he's in a red state, so I guess he didn't find that much support of it. But potentially, people in Texas have a lot of support for this economic injury disaster loan advance program, and they're demanding it. That's why I keep telling you, keep contacting these people. Jackie Rosen is a member of the U.S. Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship. Go ahead and visit that website. There is a link on the homepage which reads feedback of the economic injury disaster loan program, your experience with it. So you click that link, it loads up the form, and you could basically write down your experience with the program. Tell them all of the issues that you've run into with processing, that you've applied in March and April, May, whenever it is that you applied. Keep telling them that they have to demand it. As I said, demand it. They work for you. And they're starting to realize that because they see the looming expiration of unemployment insurance, of the FPUC, the Federal Program for Unemployment Compensation. I believe I said it right. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The $600 a week bonus that the federal government is funding for people on unemployment insurance. Incomes for 17.4 million on unemployment insurance will be slashed in half in the middle of the back-to-school shopping season, ladies and gentlemen. They see that. See the NASDAQ down by 0.8% today? And these are all the leaders that led the stock market out of the slump that it encountered back in March, back from the crash. So they see all of it. They have no market to point at to boast on how well they're doing with the economy, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like a Twilight Zone. They flipped the script, but now is the time. Now is the time to keep letting them know that you require your economic injury disaster loan advance. You require more money for your economic injury disaster loans if that's what you need. The economy is deteriorating, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, we are 30 million strong, ladies and gentlemen. We employ 57.9 million U.S. workers, half of U.S. workers. That's who we employ, ladies and gentlemen. Small businesses, in total, 47.8% of all U.S. workers, to be exact. This bill will also stop the Small Business Administration from capping the advances at $1,000 per employee, ladies and gentlemen. According to these Congress people, these lawmakers, Congress's intent was for the SBA to distribute the full $10,000 for every eligible business. And this bill aims to force the Small Business Administration to distribute the full $10,000 to every eligible businesses. And they have to do it within 3 business days time. And the Small Business Administration will be required to provide monthly reports for Congress in regards to allocation, disbursements, etc., etc. So let me know what you think. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Watch this video right here for more stimulus coverage. Click the like button if you like the video. Click the subscribe button to stay on top of my findings. I will do my best to report what other people will not and work non-stop until each and every one of you is fully funded with the economic injury disaster loan and everything that's coming to you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America and everybody else on this planet. Talk soon.